Chadash. Happy new moon to everyone that's here. I mean, all those that's online, that's here in the, that's with us via, the YouTube and things of that sort. All praises be to the power of Isaac and Jacob for his mercy endured forever. All right, so we have the new moon celebration, the observance of the beginning of months, the observance of another month coming in. By show of hands, who knows what month are we entering into at this present moment? Our calendar, on a Hebrew calendar, which month, number month, I'm talking about, which numbered month are we entering into? So I see one hand, two hands, three hands. Let's see, okay. I'm not sure hand, almost, there it goes. That was high. Okay. I want to call it garage. That's right. We enter into the 6th month. So next new moon will be what is called the Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year, the highest moon, which would be the 7th moon of the year. Now Esau calls Rosh Hashanah New Year's. It's not New Year's. He just not knowing the scriptures. All right. Rosh Hashanah means the head of the year. What is that head on your body? Where's the head stay? What part of your body? Top. The top. So it's the highest new moon. Talking about Happy New Year because he's scripted. Most High did not impart wisdom of these scriptures unto him. That's right. Okay. Because they got the little ZZs on and they put a little curlies on their hair, you think they're so smart. Okay. You will find out that they don't know this Torah as well as they try to proclaim to know. Okay. They've been holding on to our Torah for, darn near 2,000 years. Right? And they haven't gotten it right yet. And a lot of us just waking up first generation Israelites of our families, and we got more knowledge than they had all these years of the same book. That shows you that what? The Most High has to deliver this knowledge onto you. Okay? He didn't give it to you, so even though they got the book, they don't have the knowledge. Okay? He gave them little things to know. They only know what the Most High let them know. As for the other keys and seals that are found in the scriptures, you got to bring those things up. Because this Bible was delivered to us as a people. It's in our generations to understand the words of the Most High. You understand that? The Most High has to open up your understanding. Okay, understanding doesn't come by way of mathematics or because you're bright. It means the Most High has to reveal these things to you. We're going to prove that, and we're going to prove a lot of things, a few things, because I'm watching my time, so I got to compact all this in the next half an hour, 40 minutes, all right? So we're going to roll. When we start rolling, we're going to be rolling. All right, so let's get Colossians 3, verse 17. Let's open up there, and let's see what we can get, what understanding we can get. Colossians 3, verse 17.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all by Shema Shekoshan, giving thanks to the Allahayim and the Abba by him, by Shema Shekoshan.
Right, always giving all thanks to the Most High in the name of the Mashiach Yahushua. Give me Colossians 1 and verse 26. Verse 26. Let's get some understanding.
Colossians chapter 1. Verse 26. Even the mystery.
Even the what?
Even the mystery.
Even the mystery, read on.
Which had been hid from ages.
Right.
And from generations.
Come on.
But now is made manifest.
Made what?
Made manifest.
What does it mean to manifest something? To reveal. To be made known. Read on.
To his saints.
To his what?
To his saints.
Who's his saints to the Most High? Children of Israel. You are. Right? The real answer to the question is we are. We're the saints. So who's going to find out the secrets? Who's going to unlock the knowledge in the scriptures? It's going to be wait for Esau to validate what we see in the scriptures? You can't wait for Esau to validate. He doesn't know. I know we think he knows everything. because, you know, his white supremacist campaign made us believe he knows everything. But we're learning as we get in these scriptures, you know what? He don't know that much. He is not that wise. We give him too much credit.
Right.
Okay. The saints, right, is the ones that's going to open up this Bible and understand it on a whole nother level.
That's right.
So, you know, it makes no sense even debating with those fools because they don't know this book. Okay. Psalms 147, verse 19. Psalms 147, verse 19. Yep. Psalms 147, verse 19.
Psalms 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob,
Right?
his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Unto who?
Unto Israel.
So he said he showeth his word unto Jacob. So who showed you this word? Who showed you about that you're Israelite in the Bible? The Most High did that. Whether a man was standing talking to you, the Most High showed it to you. You understand what I mean? A man might have been there saying, yo, brother, you got to read this. A sister might have been like, yo, brother, you got to read this. But did that person show it to you? No, the Most High showed it to you. You know why? Because he told us that. Read it again.
Psalms.
Shut down here.
Psalms 147, verse 19.
No, go ahead.
He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation, and for his judgments they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh.
Right, that's how we know that Esau doesn't know this Bible, because the Holy Father said he didn't deal with nobody else like that. Only Jacob. Only Jacob he showed his word to. Only our foreparents did he open up his secrets to and reveal all his secrets to. These other nations don't know nothing about this Bible. That's why they all stand around. They're looking for something to believe in. They're watching the lunar eclipse and they praying to the moon, thinking that something's going to happen. All right? Always waiting for something to happen. Why? Because they have not been taught anything by the Most High. The Most High left them stupid. Without knowledge, without a father. Right? They're fatherless. All right? The father is the guide. The father is the one that guides us and tells us which way to go, but they're without a father. Right? We have a father, our heavenly father, Yahweh.
That's right.
Okay? He's our God. He's our strength. Our focus, our guide. Right? They're in need of one. That's why they make what? False gods. Right? That's why they have to make deities and false gods and statues and, you know, worship the moon and worship the sun and do it because they don't have no God. They got a void there. We don't have to do those things because we have Yahweh.
That's right.
So whatever happens, we go to Yahweh about that. Okay, oh Yahweh, I see what's going on. You know, it does look kind of dim outside. What's going on with this moon and the sun? But Yahweh will reveal understanding of that. Okay? We don't have to go and worship it, bow down to it. People have been traveling far just to see it. I saw it. I got to see it. The moon went in front of the sun. The moon and the sun's ordinances is according to the word of the Most High. We understand that because the Bible tells us that. Okay, let's get the Apocrypha. That's 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter. We're going to start with the 37th verse. 2nd Ezra 6 and 37.
2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 37.
Right.
For my spirit set on fire,
Right.
and my soul was in distress.
Come on.
And I said, O Yahweh, thou speakest from the beginning of the creation, even the first day, and saidest thus, let heaven and earth be made.
Right.
And thy word was a perfect word.
Right. And that word was a perfect what? Work. And thy word was a perfect work. That means when the Father spoke, let the earth be made. His word was a perfect word. He was going to bring forth everything. Nothing's missing. Complete. Okay? Everything complete. Right? Read on.
And then was the spirit, and darkness and silence were on every side. The sound of man's voice was not yet born.
Was not what?
Was not yet born.
So now I want you to get an understanding of this. All right? So now you have the darkness and you got the spirit moving across the deep. The darkness. Everybody see that? Man's voice was not yet heard. So man wasn't what? Created yet. Okay? So now we're dealing with the spirit realm. We're dealing with before the earth, before anything was created. You have darkness, you have space. What Esau calls space. Right? When Esau shows you space, what color is it? Dark, right? It's dark. Black, dark, right? Space. And the spirits moved across the space. Right? We know.
Verse 40. Then commandest thou a fair light to come forth of thy treasure, that thy work might appear.
Right. So what? In that space, there were things, but they weren't able to be seen until the Father brought forth the what? What he commanded to be brought forth? Light. So now the light brought forth, and now what? The treasures are revealed. But they're revealed when the light is brought forth. So Esau looks into space, he sees darkness. That doesn't mean there's nothing there. Everybody understand that? When you can't see it, doesn't mean there's nothing there. It means that you can't see it. Just as we're reading in the creation, where the earth was created, it would seem like there was nothing there. But when the light brought forth, wait a minute, there's the treasures all here. Something here. Right? Read on.
Verse 41. Upon the second day, thou madest the spirit of the firmament, and commandest it.
He made the what?
Upon the second day, thou madest the spirit of the firmament.
You made the spirit. Okay. Technological explanations on what stuff, that covers the atmosphere and how oxygen stays here, and you got gravity and a gravitational pull and all these things. And all those things he has searched out with his instruments. But the Father already told us that what? He put a spirit around this earth. That what? That causes it, what? That nothing, it creates what's called a firmament, a barrier. Okay? A spirit upon this barrier. All right, read on.
Verse 41. And commandest it to part asunder, and to make a division betwixt the waters. Might go up, and the other remain beneath. Upon the third day, thou didst command that the waters should be gathered.
Stop right there. Let's look at that second day again.
Verse 41.
Let's look at that again. Read that again.
Upon the second day, thou madest the spirit of the firmament, and commandest it to part asunder.
Part asunder mean that there's something that's going to be above it and below it, right? Read on.
The division betwixt the waters.
Betwixt the what?
Betwixt the waters.
Betwixt
the waters.
Right. Betwixt the waters. What waters? The space, the creation. He referred to it as what? Waters. Okay. He referred to it as waters. Right? It's not talking about what you drink in water. It's talking about that space. Right? Because it brings forth the treasures. It's waters. All kind of elements is out there. Okay. All that the Father would create, all the treasures, all the elements are there to bring forth everything that needs to be created. Everything is made from the waters. The waters brought forth everything. When we think water, we think of the ocean, the seas. It's going to talk about those waters. But that's not these waters are not those waters. Okay? These are elements. Read.
that the one part might go up and the other remain beneath.
Right, so this spirit had part of the firmament is above the barrier, and part of the firmament is below the barrier. Everybody understand that? One is above, one should go up, and one should go down. Everybody understand that? All right, read.
Verse 42. Upon the third day, thou didst command that the waters should be gathered. Right? In the seventh part of the earth.
In the what part?
In the seventh part of the earth.
Somebody tell me from school. Let me get a school student here. One to Zion one. Here's a high school question for you. How many seas are there? Yes. Big bodies of water. How many of them? You can phone a friend. How many seas are there? Naomi? Nope. Malachi? 7. Yeah. Scripture just told you it was 7. You can go on your globe or your map or whatever and count them for yourself. If you don't follow what Scripture says, right?
Good.
But it's all proven, okay? Read on.
2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 42. Upon the third day, thou didst command that the waters should be gathered in the seventh part of the earth. 6 parts, as thou dried up.
6 part what?
6 parts, as thou dried up.
Hold on now. Isaiah is here? No, she's not here. Oh, she did a song with me with all the continents. How many continents? How many continents? Well, you count 7. Yeah. 7 seas, 7 continents, right? Right. Everything is parted up. Okay. 6 in the scriptures. Okay. When they refer, they kind of tie. I know they referring to when they said it's 6, but it says the 6 of the dry land. Okay. Right. We don't.
6 parts has thou dried up and kept them.
Yep.
To the intent that of these some being planted of the Most High and tilled might serve thee.
Right. So what is that talking about? Dry land. Okay. Dry land is he's talking about. So things can be planted. Okay. And man can dwell. Read.
Verse 23. For as soon as thy word went forth, the work was made.
Right. As soon as he said, do this, bam, it was done. On the waters, done. Read.
Verse 44. For immediately there was great and innumerable fruit, and many and divers pleasures for the taste, and flowers of unchangeable color,
right,
and odors of wonderful smell.
Come on.
And this was done the third day.
Right. So the plants was growing on the 3rd day. Remember, man ain't there yet. I'll even go further. The great lights ain't there yet. Ain't no sun, no moon, no stars yet. Just light. So this tells you that our atmosphere has light, whether the sun rises or not. There's a light side of the earth and a dark side of the earth. Just like the moon, right? Every new moon, what side of the moon do we see? The dark side. That's why we don't see any moon. What was everybody looking at in the sky today with the lunar eclipse? What side of the moon? The dark side was facing. Why? Because today's the new moon. Had it not been the new moon, then you'd have another side of the moon showing. Right? But because it's the new moon, you have what? The dark side of the moon showing. Because that's what comes up in the new moon. Okay. Read.
Verse 45. Upon the 4th day thou commandest that the sun should shine, and the moon give her light, and the stars should be in order, and gavest them a charge to do service unto man.
Unto who?
Unto man.
So they were already created for man even though man wasn't even there yet. He was preparing things. Okay? He didn't just put man there and then give him what he needed. Everything was there already, what you needed. Okay? That's how you do. You prepare the place and then you put the people in the place. He doesn't say, "Yo, prepare this place." Okay? The place was being prepared prior to our arrival, before our creation. Okay? Read on.
And the stars should be in order. Verse 46. And gave us them a charge to do service unto man that was to be made.
Right?
Verse 47.
Right, so hold on. So now, charge to the service, to give a charge to do service. So what? The son has a service to do. What does the son tell us? Wake up to work. Oh man, is Israel a homeboy slave? What does the son tell us? What does the son tell us? His light? Oh, there was light before the sun. The days. The sun gives us the days. Every time the sun goes down, what is it telling us? It's a new day. Right? It's a new day. Every time. Never fails. When that sun goes down, a day is ending and a day is beginning. Come? Read.
Verse 47. Upon the 5th day, thou settest unto the 7th part, where the waters were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures, fowls, and fishes. And so it came to pass, right? For the dumb water and without life brought forth living things at the commandment of the Most High.
Right. So this water, they teach you this in science class. They try to tell you it was an amoeba at one time. And then you became a fish, and then you fly, then you, I don't know, somehow walk on the ground. He goes off the rack with that, right? But the reality of it, smallest microorganisms are in the water, okay? Because it comes from water. All these creatures came from the waters. The flying creatures, the fish, the birds came out of the waters. Okay, everybody see that? That's why if you look, kind of there's similarities between fish and birds and things of that sort, in the structure of their bodies. But they come out of the waters. Read.
Verse 48. For the dumb water and without light brought forth living things at the commandment of the Most High, that all people might praise thy wondrous works. Come on. Then didst thou ordain 2 living creatures. The one callest Enoch, and the other Leviathan. And didst separate the one from the other for the 7th part.
Right. So now Enoch was on what? Leviathan was where? There we go. Read.
Namely, where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. Unto Enoch thou gavest 1 part, which was dried up, that he should dwell in the same part, wherein are 1,000 ills. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the 7th part, namely the moist, and hast kept him to be devoured, of whom thou wilt. And when upon the 6th day thou gavest commandment unto the earth, that before thee it should bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
Right. So after these, after Enoch and the beasts, what's Enoch? What was he? Huh? He was a man. That showed you right there that what we were around. Well, not we, because we come out of Adam, but there was a mankind around. Okay. There's a mankind around. Okay. Lord of the earth, of the dry land. Okay. But then he made what Adam to be what? Lord over everything that was there. Every body, every animal, he made Adam to be Lord over all those things. Okay. Read on.
Verse 53. Upon the 6th day thou gavest commandment unto the earth, that before these should bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Right, because why? Even the chosen came from the lineage of Adam. Who's the chosen? Read on.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Yahweh, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Right.
As for the other people,
right,
which also come of Adam,
right,
thou hast said that they are nothing,
right,
but be like unto spittle,
right,
and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Come on.
And now, O Yahweh, behold these heathens.
These what?
These heathens.
So these drop of a bucket, this spittle, who is he referring to? The heathen. Right? And heathen means what? What does heathen mean? Non-Israelite nations. All right, he referred to them as spittle, nothing, dropped from a bucket. Okay, read on.
These heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
Come on.
But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands.
Right.
If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world?
Right.
How long shall this endure?
Right. So what Ezra was seeing all this prophecy, and he said, how long is it going to be like this? Chosen, are servants to our servants. Okay. So, we went on to there because, for just a beautiful story. Right? But it's kind of a little bit off the topic, but the topic of the matter is that the sun and moon were given orders, right, and created, right, where the earth and the seas and the continents and all that was already created before the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon was given charge, was given a duty. Now, what is the duty they give? We said the sun gives us days. What does the moon give us? Months. Okay. Months, the tide, high tide, low tide, things of that sort is all dependent on the moon. Okay. As well as the sun also gives us what? Seasons, right? Because when we are further away from the sun, we're in the winter. When we're nearer the sun, we're back in the summer. So all these things are what? They have these instruments to give us seasons, to give us months, to give us days. So just to give us time. So we can clock time. That's what they mainly do. Give us time upon earth. That's the Most High's natural clocks. So we can know what time it is, what year it is. Or else without these instruments, then we really wouldn't know what the time was. We wouldn't be able to clock the time. Yeah. Let's get Genesis 1 and 14. Okay.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night.
Read that and they feel like, okay, the sun makes the daytime, but the sun don't make it daytime. It was there already. The sun gives a greater light, right, to rule the day. But it was already day.
And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
That's the instrument to men. That's why they help men. Because they're for time, for seasons, for days, for years. What determines seasons? The moon and the sun. What determines days? The sun. What determines months? The moon. Okay? Because that's what they do. All right? People try to make them out to something else. That's what they do. That's why they're up there. Okay. Ahshar. See what that says. I don't know what's top.
Psalms 104:19. He appointed the moon for seasons.
Right. Appointed the moon for seasons, right?
Noah is going down. Thou makest darkness, and it is night, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth.
Right. So it says, I make it the moon for seasons. So the moon plays a role in the seasons, but we know that summer, winter, fall has to do with the space between the earth and the sun. Okay. And then the moon plays a role in this as well as it comes closer and further away from the earth. Okay, so this is how, look how much of our solar system is written in the Bible. They didn't have telescopes when this was written. How did they know all this was going on up there? You got to think about that. They're explaining things that Esau spent millions of dollars to show you, and they were explaining in the scriptures. How is it that the author of these scriptures, some of you think that the Bible is written by man? How would man know these things in these days, in those days, without the instruments that Esau has today? Okay, without the magnifying ability to look into the heavens or a satellite ability to take a picture from the heavens down. They didn't have those things in these days. Esau only knows what's out there because he read it in our records too. We're the only one. You can read the Quran. Tell me if this says anything about the earth creation of the Quran. Or any of these so-called spiritual books. Tell me if any of this information is in it. I can save you the trip. It's not there. The only records of this information is in the Holy Bible. There is no book that stands against the Bible. Okay? Yeah, you give me that.
Baruch chapter 3, verse 36.
Let's get Baruch 3 and 36. Okay.
Baruch chapter 3, verse 36. He hath found out all the way of knowledge and hath given it unto Jacob,
right,
his servant,
come on,
and to Israel, his beloved.
Right, so he has found out all the ways of knowledge. And give it to who? Give it to you all. That's how we knew what was going on in the heavens. That's why it's absurd to think that we didn't know where this land called America, and we thought the earth was flat. All that was a crazy white man story.
Yeah.
We never thought that these things, right? We understood where America was at. We knew we had a place. We've been there before. We came back to Jerusalem. Right. These are concepts that's fed to us. We never felt these things. We knew these things. We're beyond this knowledge. Father revealed us the heavens and the stars, the moon, the sun. He's showing us planets. Telescopes, he was showing us planets. Okay. Our records already shown that. We didn't get the zodiac from. We were reading the stars. We knew these things were in the skies. How many signs in the zodiac? How many signs in the zodiac? 12. Well, I don't know. They would. Maybe that's the Esau tribe. That's the tribe of Esau. He's been trying to be an Israelite all his years. He just added 13 tribes. There's 12 zodiac because there's 12 tribes. That's why there's 12 zodiac signs. That's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. They try to, the whole what time of the year you were born. I'm not too sure. I never researched that part, how that ties in with science, right? So I don't really prescribe to that until I know a little bit more. But the reality of it, I know them 12 signs were reflective of the 12 tribes of Israel. Because that's, in the heart of the Most High. You see his creation over and over again throughout nature. That's how the Most High operates. Okay. You done over there too? Okay. We're going through these. Let me see if I can help you out. Where's Malachi? Come here, Malachi. In my car, my gym bag, check the very side pockets. And it has a pack of batteries, two 9 volts. Yeah. I'll get you back on the move. All right. So meanwhile, let's get as we're understanding. Let's look at Ecclesiasticus in the pocket. Let's go back to Sirach. And let's look at 43. Chapter 43. So now a lot of people were looking up in the sky, trying to think that something was going to happen, or I don't know what they were waiting to see. You see Esau praying to this moon, you know, the moon god or whatever. You know he makes a god out of the moon, right? You ever see him put the face in the moon? They try to make a god out of the moon. The moon is here to serve you, not you to serve the moon. Right. They want to serve old moon god, sun god Ra, like the Egyptians. They want to praise Ra because he's in the sun. No, the sun is like, I'm here for you. I'm here to serve you. The moon is here to serve us. The sun is here to serve us. This is it right here. The earth is it. We don't worry about Mars and Jupiter and Venus. All those planets is put out there to serve this planet. Yeah. This is the center. This is where it happens. Okay, nothing's happening. There's no Martian men with big feet. Yeah, what's that? The Martian, what's his name again? I forget his name. Right? Little green man. Marvin? Yeah, Marvin and Martian don't exist. Ra, right? Rai. Right? Rai means evil. Right? Like when I say Yahacharachayim, I'm saying kill evil spirits. Okay, when we set up the prayers. Right? Right? So is it Rai they call him or Ra? They call him Ra. Oh, okay. Right. But in other words, they just try to make gods out of the things that the Father said we're gods. These things serve us. We're the gods that these things serve. Everybody understand that? No. You're the gods that these instruments serve. You're looking for a higher being. The angels, you said, the Father said, we're going to judge angels. Are you prepared to go where the Father is taking us? Are we mentally getting there? Because sometimes we're looking at things and we're being dismayed by the signs of heaven. But we shouldn't be dismayed. Whatever's happening in the heavens is happening for us. Like you said, the Sabbath was given to you. The Sabbath is for you. You're not for the Sabbath. The Father's about to put us on a level. You know, we've been oppressed, pushed down, stamped down, mashed down, to thinking that we just like everybody else. Well, the Father never created us to be that. Okay? We're going back to the former state. We're going back to what the Father created his children to be, which was not like everybody else. Right? We're a set apart people. Scripture said, thou art a holy people. We're different than everybody else. Okay? And he's bringing that difference back to us. As we come back to the law, statute, commandments, the difference is going to show even more. Even in our oppressed, beat down, broken down state, we still better than the other nations. Even as fools, right? We better than them. You know what I'm saying? We're not even trying yet. We're not even who we're supposed to be yet. And we still excel in the other nations at their foolishness. That's right. Imagine when we in our fullness. That's right. We have to think differently. Okay? And understand what the scriptures is telling us here. Okay? I called 43. Read that 43 and 1.
Sirach, chapter 43, verse 1. The pride of the height, the clear firmament, the beauty of heaven with his glorious shield. The sun when it appeared, declaring at his rising a marvelous instrument, the work of the Most High.
Read.
At noon it parcheth the country, and who can abide the burning heat thereof? A man blowing a furnace is in works of heat, but the sun burneth the mountains 3 times more, breathing out fiery vapors and sending forth bright beams. It dimmeth the eye. Great is Yahweh that made it, and at his commandment it runneth hastily. He made the noon also to serve in her season of time, and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of peace, a light that decreaseth in her perfection.
A light that decreases in her perfection. So when it's at its height, it's full. Perfect. And then it decreases in its perfection. Okay? So it goes from nothing to full to nothing. Okay? Read on.
Verse 8. The month is called after her name.
Right? And so we asked that question when we began class. What month are we? We're in the month Shashak, which is 6. Right? The 6th month. All right? And we're coming into Shabai, which is the 7th month. Okay? We're in the month of Shashak in Hebrew, right? The 6th month. Okay, read on.
The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven, the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of Yahweh. At the commandment of the Holy One.
At the what?
At the commandment of the Holy One.
Read.
They will stand in their order.
They will do what?
They will stand in their order.
At the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order. That means that they're set to order to do what they do, and they will continue to do that at the commandment of the Most High. The Most High commanded to stop, it will stop. He can turn that sun off and that moon off, just like that. Okay, he can stop everything because everything is by the commandment of his word. Every ordinance that's happening out there is by the commandment of his word. All right, read on.
At the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order, their watches. Look upon the rainbow,
right,
and praise him that made it.
Right,
very beautiful it is in the brightness thereof.
Right,
it compasseth the heaven about with a glorious circle. In the hands of the Most High bended. By his commandment, he maketh the snow to fall apace.
All right, so what? The rainbow comes what? It circles the earth. And it commands, it goes across the whole heavens of the sky when it shows itself. Okay? So all these things the Most High commanded and put in place. Okay? We have to understand that they serve us, we don't serve them. We're not like the other nations. We're not going to praise. We didn't say, oh, it was a lunar eclipse. That's why I feel funny today. No, you don't feel no different ways because there was a lunar eclipse. Okay? I hear all this madness all day about this lunar eclipse. I'm like, man, that the sun and moon don't control us, man. They're there for us. We need to learn how to use them. We got instruments and tools and weapons we don't know how to use. Right? But when we learn how to unlock and use these things, we're going to see how much power we have. Okay. Give me Jeremiah 10, verse 1. Jeremiah 10, verse 1.
Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the words which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Come on.
Thus saith Yahweh.
What do you take?
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not what?
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Don't follow in the ways of the heathen. Because the heathen, they looking for a God because they don't have one. You have one. So you don't have to think that these things have power over you. Yahweh has the power over you. He set his son over you. Yahweh Shah. You don't need no other power over your head. You don't got to pray to nothing else. Nothing else affects you but Yahweh, Ahshar, Habashak, Yahushua. If a demon tries to come at you, who do you call on? Yahweh, Ahshar, Habashak, Yahushua. Because that's above whatever demon is trying to get at you. That demon has to listen to Yahushua or Yahweh. He can't overrun them. So you can't worry. You can't be thinking, well, I'm going to go to a safe place or I'm going to get someone to do this. Somebody washing their hands and toilet and all that kind of, listen, man. You don't need those extra things. You got the most powerful power on your side. We have been, our power has been returned onto us. We're keeping Torah, we're keeping the law. According to the Bible, that our sins separate us from the Heavenly Father. And since we've been separated, we've been believing in these other guys, other entities. We've been trying to find peace elsewhere. But now the Father has returned onto us. Then these things is garbage compared to the Most High. Right? They can't help. They can't do nothing against you. Okay, read on.
Verse 2, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Don't be dismayed at comets or eclipses, anything you see in the heavens. Don't be confused, don't be dismayed, don't be astonished. Those things are working for you. The eclipse just proved, you know what the eclipse proved today? That's the new moon. If you didn't know that the moon is still up there when you can't see it, because I had people say, well, it's a dark moon, you can't see the moon. So that it's always up there. But today the sun is in a position to show you it. So it showed it to you. It revealed the dark side of the moon to you, to the people. That's all that happened today. We already knew there was a dark side of the moon. A lot of people didn't know this. But they got revealed. They didn't even know what they were looking at. What the Father was showing the people that there's a dark side of the moon. It's called the new moon, which the earth does not follow, does not celebrate. We celebrate it because we know the Father. But how many people in this neighborhood think they celebrate a new moon tonight? Yeah? You leave these doors, you think there's new moon celebrations going on? How about the town next to this one? How about the town next to that one? We can start doing states, man. You're going to find few and far between that's keeping the new moon, that understands that the moon serves us. And understand what they saw in the lunar eclipse today was the new moon being revealed to the people. Because you usually can't see it. Remember, we read in the beginning, because it was dark doesn't mean nothing is there. Because you can't see it does not mean it's not there. The light brings forth what? The treasures. What treasure did it bring forth today? The moon, the new moon, the dark side. The light brought forth the moon to show it to you, those that saw it. I saw an inkling of it. Clouds was there. Somebody said they saw it. So I looked up. When I looked up, the sun was piercing so hard I couldn't really look at it. So I was like, yo, we trying to blind me? Then they say we're not supposed to look up there? But I seen everybody looking up, so you know how Israel is. You see everybody sitting there like this. Oh my God. Oh my God. So I'm pulling into the yard. I'm like, why is everybody looking up? So I'm driving up. I stick my head out the window. That thing said, oh my eye. Like, oh, I'm not there. But when we crashed the truck, I said, listen, man, I don't know what y'all looking at, man. I don't even know why I'm even following y'all, man, looking up in there. They were looking like something was falling. I want to see, was there missiles? I mean, the way they were standing there looking up there, remember, I'm driving down the street, I'm just seeing cars and traffic, everything is normal. I pull into the gate, everybody is standing outside the building like this. And I'm driving past slow, I'm looking at everybody like, and I guess, curiosity after a while, you're going to be like, what the hell? And I mean, that light was so bright, I felt it. I felt like my eye felt like it was like throbbing for a moment there. I was like, yo. I was like, what the hell? I said, yo, why did I look up there? I said, because everybody else looking up there. But the scriptures say, do not follow a multitude to do wicked. So I was going off. I should have known better than looking up there because everybody else was looking up there. All right, that was a moment of my stupidity. You know what I mean? Because I should have known better.
Right.
But you know, that's just in our nature. You see everybody looking somewhere, you're gonna look to see what everybody looking at. You know? But the reality of it is, it's nothing for us to be, you know, driving. People drove all the way up to North Carolina so they can see it, you know, come right at them and all these things. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. Oh, it only happens every 14 years or something. So what? The moon and the sun is up there every day. The fact that they got behind each other today is inevitable. Because the moon moves on its axis, right? It's inevitable for them to line up together every so often. Okay, it's just probability. It's predictable. And the heavens are predictable. Remember, the Father said they stand at His word. So the way He set them to do, that's why Esau can look 50 years down the line and tell you when the new moon is going to be. Because it don't change. Right? It's predictable. It keeps doing what it's just like the Most High. The Father said, I change not. I'm the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So we shouldn't change. Okay? We the ones that's out of order. We off course. Okay? But the Father's putting us back on course. Okay? Give me that Psalms. Give me all the foundations. Of course, that's Psalms. To the 90s. Maybe. So let me find a scripture real quick. Was that all the foundations of the earth is off course? All the foundations of the earth is off course? Psalms? My Psalms? It's right here. I found it. Yeah. Psalms 82 and 5. Psalms 82 and 5. Hmm? Yeah. Psalms 82 and 5.
Psalm chapter 82, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
They know not, neither will they understand.
Right.
In darkness.
Come on.
All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Right.
I have said, ye are God.
Ye are what?
Ye are God.
Read.
And all of you are the children of the Most High.
Right. So, man, everything is out of whack, man. We got to get ourselves back on course, man. Ye are gods. What does that mean? Authority and power is given into your hands. He's entrusted His law to you. The authority and the power that's given to you is by Ahshar, right? By His power, He entrusted this in you. When He gives you His scriptures, His breakdowns, His understanding, His knowledge, He's entrusting that power in your hand. What you going to do with that? Some man took that power and perverted it and made themselves into deities. All right? They call themselves, you know, comforter. They call themselves the apostolic successor. They call themselves Yahweh Ben Yahweh. They call themselves Ben Amin. They call themselves all these things above man, above. Anytime a man exalts himself, that's not of Yah. All right? The scriptures say, let the Most High exalt you. Right? He said, let the greatest, they asked the Messiah, which is the greatest amongst the disciples? He said, it's the one that serves him, that serves the other one, the one that's humble. Our job is to serve. How great you are is how great you serve. How much have you fed? Not by putting yourself on a pedestal. He said, who exalts himself shall be abased. Right? And who abase himself shall be exalted. Here's another verse. Read on where you at. Matthew 18. Good.
Psalms chapter 82.
Verse 6 again.
Psalms chapter 82, verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High.
Right.
Verse 7. But ye shall die like men.
Right.
And fall like one of the princes.
You know.
Arise, O power, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations.
Right. The whole Israel is going to be inherited, man. Wherever we at, coming out of all nations, we're going to be inherited. Not one of us going to be left. So the understanding that I would hope to express tonight to all is that, don't be dismayed by these lunar eclipses and things that's happening in the heavens and the comets flying up across. All these things serve us. All we have to do is learn how better to be the Israelites that the Father created, coming out of being black and Negroes and Caribbeans and all these type of things we were in the past, and being a Hebrew Israelite that the Father created. You will see to excel in power, right, over your surroundings. Because all these things work for you. You are the form of all things. All right? A lot of Jacob is not like everybody else. We're not like everybody else. Okay? But we are the form of all things. All right? Everything given unto us. So with that, we're going to go into this new psalm. We're going to read around the room. So we can close out the service. Right now it is 9:55. So let's go through that. Let's get that done. So let's get Psalms 83. Let's start with Al-Apalal. Sorry, 81. Let's start with Al-Apalal. And I'm looking at 81 and saying 83. 81. Start with Al-Apalal and come through.
Sing aloud unto the Most High our strength. Make a joy to the Most High, the power of Jacob.
Come.
And bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery.
Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day.
For this was a statute for Israel and the law of the Most, of the power of Jacob.
This he ordained in Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not.
Come.
I removed his shoulder from the burden, his hands were delivered from the pots.
Come.
Thou callest in trouble, and I delivered thee. I answered thee in the secret place of thunder. I proved thee at the waters of Meribah. Salah.
Come.
Hear, O my people, and I will testify unto thee, O Israel, if thou wilt hearken unto me.
Come.
Yes, shall no stranger God be in thee, neither shall thou worship any strange God.
Hallelujah.
I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Upon thy mouth wide, and I will fill it.
Come.
Verse 11. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me.
Come.
So I gave them up unto their own hearts, thus, and they walked in their own counsel.
Come.
Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways.
Come.
I should have subdued their enemies, and turned my hand against their adversaries.
Come.
The haters of the Most High should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever.
Come.
Should have fed them also the finest of you, and would play out the rocks that have justified you.
Hashem, Mashiach, Yahushua, the water, the blood of one. The Most High hand. Hallelujah. All praise to Father. We're going to set up the praise now, plus the food, and we're going to enjoy brother and sister for the duration of the service. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I imagine we're putting on your Russian, stay to face Jerusalem. Hallelujah. 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 Who's the power? Who's the power? By Hashem? By Hashem? Kurash, kurash, kurash. Kurash, kurash, kurash. Holy, holy, holy is the name of Anoah, Yahweh. Holy, holy, holy is the name of Mashiach, Yahushai. From Anoah Yahweh. From Anoah Yahweh. From Mashiach Yahushai. From Mashiach Yahushai. From Yasharallah. From Yasharallah. Rakatha Yahweh. Hashem. Mashiach, Yahushai, Hawa'ah, Noah, Chadash, Shalom, Amkushah, Shemai, Apollonia, Barak, Arapah, Kazak, Ramagun, Ashma'ayah, Akil, Wa, Akwakil, Amkushah, Yahweh, Hashem, Mashiach, Yahushai, Yochak, Shaitan, Yochak, Shaitan, Yochak, Kol, Rai, Rahayim, Yochak, Kol, Rai, Rahayim, Amkushah, Yahweh, Hashem, Mashiach, Yahushai, Barak, Ma'akol, Noah, Vashadab, Noah, Vayayan, Noah, Wakazak, Shadab, Noah, Hashem, Mashiach, Yahushai, the water, the yard, Amen. Hallelujah. Give us that. Hallelujah. All right, so we can brother and sister, let me know how the sermon needs to go in the back. Just let me know who need to come up. And remember donations, Hamas not here. We give out the envelopes, offerings, donations. Kushal is to distribute that. Don't forget to feed the box. It keeps us going. All right, hallelujah. All right. Sure, get that. All right, let the women. Come.
He said the lights was already there and they had a show.